Hello, welcome back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at where next week's 10 days in today's video. It's going to take us well into the second half of June. We'll be going up to the 19th of the month with this update. Been a really warm start to June, of course. We've had a lot of hot weather over the past couple of days. Things are going to be changing really from tomorrow, going to be turning quite a lot cooler and also more unsettled as well. And that looks like it's going to carry on through the middle part of the month. So this is going to be quite an unsettled update with low pressure tending to be in control of weather for the coming week to 10 days. I'll show you the charts in a second. Before I get on with that, just very quickly to mention the ads. There's links to articles on all the pages. Have a browse through the widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you are interested in. Thanks very much for doing that. There's video ads on most of the pages, which own our content when you watch them. They'll close back up again. And it does help to pay for GazworldVids.com. Thanks so much for getting involved. And thanks for doing that. I thought I'd just start off with Central England temperatures. It might be as high as it gets, so it could tick up a little bit more for today. Not sure, but this is provisional up to yesterday, up to the 8th of June, and currently standing at a very warm 15.5, which is an anomaly of over 2 degrees, just bang on, 2.0 above average. So, well, a really warm start to June, as I say, but this might be about as high as it gets. It could tick up just a little bit more for today, but then I think it'll gradually start to drop, actually, as we go through the next week to 10 days, because we are seeing signs of cooler air coming in off the Atlantic. Having a look at the 500 millibar height anomalies for the next week to 10 days. I say this takes us to the 19th of June. We've got the ECMWF here on the top, the GFS on the bottom. We'll have a look at that in a moment. We still got the trough of low pressure here on a southerly track running through the Atlantic into the UK. The tight lines, the jet stream, that's going to the south of the country as well, a bit like that. The ridge that's given us all of the warm weather over the past week or two, that's being pushed off in towards the east of Europe. So quite a fundamental shift beginning to take place here as cooler and more unsettled Atlantic-driven low-pressure conditions returns from the west, and the ridge that has given us all of the warm weather recently, that moves in towards the east of Europe. Is that the setup we're going to have for the summer? It's far too early to say that, but certainly the next week to 10 days we'll see quite a significant change to cooler and more unsettled weather. The GFS is very similar. There's the trough of low pressure there around the UK and going into the west of Europe as well. Looks like I've got a bit of an Atlantic train setting up with the jet stream doing something a bit like that. The difference with the GFS is that we've actually still got northern blocking here over top of the part, which is never normally a very good sign in the summer. But it's the same idea, really. The ridge has given us all the warm weather. That's being pushed off into the east of Europe. We'll be giving them sort of warm southerly winds. We see the trough of low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, so it turns significantly more unsettled and cooler as well. The GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles looking like this for the next 2 weeks. The red line here is the 30-year temperature average. So we're above average still at the moment. Pretty warm conditions, but they are going to be dropping these temperatures over the next few days. However, we only go down to around average, really. So there's no sign of anything desperately cold coming up. We're just seeing a return to near normal temperatures, actually, and I suppose in June that's not going to be too bad, although keep in mind if it's overcast and pouring with rain, it's going to feel pretty cool, even quite cold if the upper air temperatures, are around average. So it very much depends on sunshine amounts, this. If you get sunshine with average upper air temperatures in the summer, you're going to feel quite warm. However, if it's dull and overcast and wet, it'll feel quite cool. There is plenty of precipitation coming up as well. Here's the precipitation spikes showing that really from the start of next week, the weekend start of next week, that's when rainfall begins to come back and just continues into next week. Really quite an unsettled spell being signalled there. Temperature anomalies generally close to averages from the 9th through to the 17th of June, not deviating too far from average, maybe still erring a little bit on the above average side, but I would expect these to be trending cooler over the next day or two. Precipitation anomalies, they're coming out above average, so it's going to be quite a wet period. Having a look at the generic charts then, here's Monday the 13th of June, low pressure is coming in off the Atlantic. Looks like it has showers, longer spells of rain. That takes us through into the middle part of next week. This trough of low pressure, keeping it unsettled. Showers or longer spells of rain sums it up. And that takes us into the second half of next week. This is Friday, the 17th of June. And we've still got low pressure around the west and northwest of Europe, producing further showers, if not longer spells of rain. And this on day 10, which is Sunday the 19th of June. It's a very long way out, so don't necessarily be all that concerned about it, but it's quite a deep area of low pressure there running up the channel. No doubt that will bring gale force winds and a lot of heavy rain. That's a precipitation forecast for Sunday 19th of June. Looking really wet there. Now, that is a small area of low pressure, quite an intense one, but a small one. Wouldn't necessarily be all that concerned about it, but it does indicate and highlight the potential for a lot of unsettled weather coming up in the next week to 10 days. The East Central left very similar. There's below pressure driving in off the Atlantic on Monday, bringing outbreaks of rain or showers, and that continues into Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Temperatures will be cooler also of this trough that's coming in from the North Atlantic. We go through into the end of next week, still under a trough of low pressure, so further showers, longer spells of rain as well. And even by day 10, which is Sunday the 19th of June, look at this, we've got the next area of low pressure in the Atlantic and moving into the UK. Jet stream is doing something a bit like that, steering those areas of low pressure through to the UK. So up to day 10, which is sort of a semi-reliable time frame. It's looking unsettled. So I would get outside and enjoy the sunshine and the warm temperatures this afternoon, if that's what you like, because I think you'll have quite a bit of showers, quite a few showers, if not longer spells of rain coming up over the next week to 10 days, and temperatures will be a lot cooler as well. How long is this going on for? As you saw the Beijing Climate Centre update yesterday, it suggests a mixed period where we've got settled and unsettled conditions alternating with warmer and cooler conditions alternating as well. We'll have a look at the JMA model tomorrow. It'll be JMA Friday along with CFS V2, and we'll see how long this unsettled spell could go on for. So come back for that tomorrow. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.